we need to take a look at a video clip. I call it The Science of Kung Fu Panda. Let's take a look and see what gravity does to Po when he tries to fly. Here we go.
I lied. I don't dream about noodles, Dad. I love Kung Fu! Oh, come on, son. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, pandas can fly. Did you guys know that? Alright, since we're talking about gravity and how gravity is always going to pull us down, I figured I would do a little gravity experiment. Ready? You want to see an experiment? The experiment is I'm going to throw something up in the air and see what happens. Oh yeah, it goes down. Isn't that cool? Who would have thought that would happen? Gravity. Yeah, the girls are staying in their seats so good. Right now they're out of their seats. The boys are in their seats. There we go. Gravity will pull something down. Wait a second. There we go. And you know what else? I'm messing with the 4th and 5th grade girls in the back. I'm going to get it to them. See how gravity just pulls it down, doesn't float in the air. There's my little gravity demonstration. There we go. And you know what? It also works not just on bracelets, but I bet it'll work on water. See that? It doesn't just stay up in the air, it goes down. See? I know it gets the guys in the back. Alright, everybody in your seats. I want to just start things out with a little fun. What I want to do now is I want to tell you a story from the Bible. I need everyone to sit up straight in their chairs. Keep your hands and feet to yourself and be very, very quiet. Shh. Mr. Angelo is going to pay close attention to my story. He's going to write down a secret word. It will be a person, a place, or a thing that I say in the story. If you can guess what it is, we'll see what our prize-making machine can come up with. But I believe it's a $35 gift card to Wildwood Highlands. If you can guess the secret word. But you have to pay close attention, and we're only going to pick people that are following all 3 rules. And quiet. Now, just like gravity pulls us all down to the earth, did you guys know that sometimes there's people that try to pull us down? You guys know that? Just like gravity tries to pull us down to the ground, sometimes people try to pull us down and make us do things that we're not supposed to do. And I want to tell you a story about somebody in the Bible. I want to see all 896 eyeballs in the room looking up at me. Somebody in the Bible who had some friends or some people in his life that tried to pull him down. Now, the story starts out with a king. His name was Darius. He ran a whole kingdom, and he picked 120 people to work for him. Their job was to run the entire kingdom, and of those 120, there were 3 special people that were in charge of the 120 people. So they were even higher up. And one of those people, his name was Daniel. Everyone say Daniel. Now Daniel, he worked so hard. He was one of those 3 top people who worked for King Darius. He worked so hard, he did everything the king asked him to do. He obeyed all of the king's rules. He worked very, very hard, and he did everything he could possibly do to make the king happy. And you know what? The king liked Daniel so much, the king decided to make him in charge of the whole kingdom. Nobody had more power in the whole kingdom except the king himself, King Darius. And Daniel was in charge of everything. And you know what? What do you think the other guys that were working for Daniel were thinking about him? You think they liked him? They got jealous. They were thinking, you know what? Daniel's King Darius' favorite. It's not fair. Who's ever felt like it wasn't fair? We all feel that sometimes. And you know what? They tried to get Daniel in trouble. They thought of something they could do to get Daniel in trouble, to get the king to punish Daniel. And they thought they were trying to catch him doing something wrong. But you know what? Daniel never did anything wrong that they could see. He always followed all the rules. And they decided the only way that we can get Daniel in trouble is if we have the king make a law against Daniel's God. I need everyone listen. This is important. And they went to the king and they said, you know what, king, we have this great idea. You're the best king ever. We're going to make a rule, make a law, that for 30 days, nobody is allowed to pray to their gods. They're only allowed to pray to you, King Darius. King Darius is thinking, wow, I'm pretty important. He thought it was good. And they said, can you make that law? And he's like, yeah, I think that's a good law. And they said, and we have an idea. Anybody that prays to any god except for you will be punished. And they'll be thrown in a den of lions. Kind of like a big pit full of hungry lions. Who's ever been to the zoo before? You ever see the lions? The lions at the zoo are usually fat and lazy. They just kind of sit there and look at you. And then people bring them food and they lay in front of them and then they eat the food. Now, a hungry lion is not fat and lazy. It's skinny and angry. It might look, do we have that video? Here's a lion that isn't really nice looking. Go ahead and put that on the screen. Who would want to see that lion? Ever seen the lions at the zoo do that? I haven't. And you know what? That lion is not a lion I would want to play with. Some of the ones I've seen at the zoo, you look like you just crawl up next to them and lay on them like a big pillow pet. But that lion didn't look that way. The lions that they were going to throw the people that broke the law in with, they were like that one. They were very, very hungry, mean lions. And the king made that law. He wrote it all down so that anybody that prayed to anyone other than the king would be thrown into the pit of lions. If you pray to somebody, can they hear you other than God himself? If I tried to pray to somebody way across town, would they hear me? No, only God can hear our prayers. So it's kind of strange that they would want people to pray to the king. But Daniel, you know what he did? Every morning, this is what he always did. He woke up and he prayed. In the afternoon, he prayed. And at night, he prayed. And he always went out to his window and he knelt down and he prayed to God. He spent some time talking to God. That's all that prayer is. And you know, once they made this rule, he knew the consequences. He knew he would get in trouble if he prayed to God. Do you think he still did it? Who thinks that they would have still prayed in front of an open window if they were going to get thrown in a lion's den? Who would be scared? I would be. I would be really scared. I don't know what I would do. I would be really scared to pray if I knew I was going to get thrown in with lions if someone caught me praying. But Daniel knew that he wanted to stay faithful to God and he wasn't going to be afraid of anything. So he knelt down the next day in front of his window and he prayed to God. He talked to God. And all of the people that tried to get Daniel in trouble, they were watching him. They looked up at his window and they saw him praying. And they said, aha! And they snuck away. And they went and got King Darius and said, hey, King Darius, remember that law you made? He said, oh, yeah, everyone has to pray for me for 30 days. And they said, do you remember what would happen to anybody that broke that rule? He said, yeah, I signed it on the paper, they would be thrown in the lion's den. And they said, you made that law, right? It's already written down. He said, yeah, as long as nobody prays to any god but me, they'll be safe. And they said, we found somebody that broke the law. The king leaned in and said, oh, who would do that? And they said, it was Daniel. What do you think the king was feeling? He loved Daniel. He loved him. He didn't want anything bad to happen. And he was like, no, not Daniel. He's so good. He does all of his work. He's a great guy. the king didn't want to throw Daniel in the lion's den. And he tried to figure out a way that he could reverse the law, but he had already written everything down. Everything was official. He couldn't change it. He tried to figure out a way to let Daniel go, but there was nothing he could do. So he had to order the guys to get Daniel and put him in the lion's den. They put a huge stone over top of the den so that nobody could get out. And the lions might have looked something like, let's see that picture. Yeah, who would want to mess with that? Those are some big teeth. I would not want to mess with that lion. And they threw Daniel in there, and they left him there overnight. The king, maybe tried to go to bed, and he just laid there, staring at the ceiling. Who's ever tried to go to bed and couldn't sleep? You just lay there. Who's ever been worried about something you couldn't sleep? Who's ever been thinking about something so much you couldn't sleep? That's the way King Darius was. He couldn't sleep, and as soon as the sun came up, he jumped out of bed, and he ran to the lion's den. He ordered people to move the stone, and then he called out and he said, Daniel! He was hoping, Daniel, are you in there? And as he got a little closer, he heard Daniel say, yes, my God saved me from the lions. Did you guys know that God can do that? God can do anything. And you know what? Daniel refused to do anything that would hurt God. He refused to do anything that he knew God wouldn't want him to do. And he made sure that he prayed to God every day. And you know what? How many of you have some people in your life that might try to get you to do something you're not supposed to do? Maybe some friends at school, some friends in your neighborhood. You are always going to have people that try to get you to do something that you're not supposed to do. Sometimes, who has a really good friend that helps you do what you're supposed to do? That's great. You'll probably also have friends that might try to get you to do something you shouldn't do. It's really, really important that no matter what happens, who you're around, that you always do what is right, no matter what everyone else is doing. And you might feel like you're the only one doing what's right, but God still wants you to stand up for what you know is right. Here's what I want to do. Close your eyes, bow your heads, we're going to pray. I want you to repeat this prayer after me, and I want you to put both hands up in the air. Do this to just reach up to God as we pray. Say, Dear God, please help me to always do what's right. Even if nobody else is following you, help me to follow you. Help me to do what's right. And help me to live for you. In Jesus' name. And everybody said, all right. I hope you guys were paying close attention. Miss Rachel, how you doing, sweetie pie?
I'm doing okay, Professor Pie.
You want to take some guesses for this?
Well, I think, was everybody listening really closely?
I hope they were.
And what is the machine over there? Can it make us a prize today?
I don't know if it can make gift certificates of Wildwood Highlands, but let's see.
Let's try.
Let's get this thing working. It might have to work extra hard.
What do we have? What's it going to make us?
Well, let's start. Ooh. This is a $35 gift card or gift certificate to Wildwood Highlands.
Ooh, who likes Wildwood Highlands?
Good stuff.
Right.
Now, where's Josh at? Is he going to take guesses for the boys? We'll start with the girls.
Yes, we will.
Ladies first.
Miss Kayla has someone with a guess for us. I think it should be.
5 rolls of pennies.
Five? How about 6?
How about 5.5?
Ooh, okay.
All right. Ladies first.
Miss Kayla, what is our first guess for the girls? Someone help her out if we don't have a guess.
Do we have a guess?
Oh, the guy that tried to get Daniel out of the lion's den. Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, was it Jesus?
Is it Jesus? And wrong. No, not Jesus. Very good guess. What do we got, Josh?
He guessed the law.
Is it the law? No way. No way, not the law.
And our next guess for the girls is Miss Kayla.
Is it the stone?
The stone.
The stone that was in front of the lion's den. Is it the stone?
No.
No. All right, what do we got, Mr. Josh?
The lion's den.
Is it the lion's den?
I guess not.
Before you go to the next person, everybody today is going to get one of these awesome, super cool glow-in-the-dark bracelets. They say new creation on it, and it says 2 Corinthians 5:17. That's our scripture verse. You'll get those as you leave. Pretty cool.
That is cool. And we'll get a fun paper.
And they get a paper take home pay worth some announcements
For Mom and Dad.
some puzzles and fun stuff like that.
And our next guest for the girls
Is it
is
the kingdom?
the Kingdom.
The Kingdom, very good guess.
No.
Mr. Josh, what do we got for the
Yes.
boys? Where are you?
The people who tried to get Daniel in trouble.
Ooh, is it the people that try to get Daniel in trouble?
No way.
Okay, it's
And
not the
Kayla
people.
has the guest for the girls. Where's
Is it the
Kayla?
wise men?
There she is all the way back there. The wise men.
And wrong. Not the wise
the
man.
wise
Josh, what do we got? Where are you? You're quick. I have a hard time.
Is
finding
it the lion?
Is it the lion?
No. No.
Not the lion.
Okay, Kayla's in the middle. And
Is
you
it
got
the king?
the king.
King Darius.
No.
These are tricky, but they have to be tricky because it's a good prize.
No, it's not the king.
Is
Josh.
it Daniel?
Daniel.
Is it Daniel? No way. Not Daniel.
Miss Kayla's in the front row.
Is it the 30 days?
The 30
The 30 days.
No.
No.
I guess not.
No, it's not the 30 days. Where are you, Josh?
Right here. The lions at the zoo.
Is it the lions at the zoo, the fat, lazy ones?
No. No.
Not the fat, lazy lions.
And Miss Kayla, where are you now?
Is it the roll?
The
The
rule.
rule. And wrong.
Oh.
Josh.
Yeah, we have the same thing, the decree that the king signed.
The decree that the king signed. You got another guess? Same person. Different guess. Person, place, or thing from the story. Hurry up, guys. Need something quick.
Someone help
Is
me
it the
out.
stone?
Is it the stone?
Very close.
No.
Not the stone.
It's not
And
the
back
stone.
all the way in the back, Miss
Is
Kayla.
it the skinny, hungry lion?
Is it the skinny, hungry lion?
No.
Oh. Good job.
All right, Mr. Josh, what do we got?
Is it the pillow pet?
Is it the pillow
Oh,
pets?
good guess. No way.
I'm into pillow pets this week. I'm not sure what it is. What do we got, Miss Kayla?
Was it the prayers?
Is it the prayer? And wrong. Not the prayer. Mr. Josh, where are you?
Is it God?
Is it God? Good guess.
No.
Miss
No.
Kayla's over here in the front row.
I'll give you a hint real quick. It's a person, place, or thing. I'm going to tell you it's not a person and it's not a place. So it's a thing. It's an
Thing.
object.
Thing.
Something you can see or touch. I mentioned it in the story. We got a
Is
guess?
it the cave?
It's in the cave.
Good guess. Good guess.
No. No.
No, not the cave. What else do we got, Mr. Josh?
Is it the open window that Daniel prayed out of?
Is it the
It's in the open window. It is. It's the open window. Who said that? Who said the open window? Tanner, come here, brother. You are going to get $400. You get $35 items. Now, more importantly, I believe we get 5.5 rolls of pennies. So come with me, boys.
Wait, are we sure? That you get five?
Come with me.
They're quiet. They're quiet. They're not excited about
This
this.
is a half. See the half roll?
Yes, I do.
All right. 5.5. All right. Well, right now we need to
Who
collect
else
pennies.
brought pennies?
Did you guys bring pennies?
Let me see them. Pass them to the aisles. There's
Let's start
people carrying
collecting our pennies.
buckets.
Let's
Let me
get
see
our
those
pennies. Let's get
pennies.
music on.
Professor Pie! Professor! Professor Pie!
everybody.
Okay.
We had a scale malfunction yesterday.
Did we?
Yeah, we had the wrong number up there, but everything is going to be okay. It read 15 on the boys' side. It was a mechanical glitch. The 1 was added. It was actually 5, but we got everything corrected, so it was 2.5 pounds to 5 pounds. Does that make you feel
I
better?
was so nervous.
Does that make you feel better that you were only back by 2.5 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was just the games. And it seems like the girls are on the water.
Now, it does. Now, I heard a rumor.
What's the rumor?
I don't think
Cherry pie?
Oh, no. I think
Pumpkin pie?
Blueberry is your favorite.
Boysenberry pie?
But I heard a rumor.
Huckleberry pie?
Well, maybe it wasn't a rumor because I think I was here.
Okay.
That the girls won the jump roping contest this morning.
Actually, from what I understand, the boys are up 2-1.
Whoa. Well, one between Professor Pie.
By 1.
By 1.
We'll wait till tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
I guarantee I can beat you.
Are you all going to be here tomorrow morning to see if we get some more pennies for the girls' side?
All right.
Let's do this
Tomorrow morning. First thing tomorrow morning for 10 rolls of pennies. Me and you.
10 rolls.
10 rolls.
10 rolls sound good? Match, rematch.
All right, before we do the penny weighing, why don't we do our puppet song so we make sure we have all the time that we need to get the scales working. This is our last puppet song. Where are my dancers at? Here they come. We're going to do our last puppet song. It's called Don't Forget to Remember.
There we go. Let's do 6th grade.
We're going